And last but not least, you want your corn knee-high by July? Better get the plant, boys.
I make my living off the land.
This corn's beautiful.
With aching back and calloused hand.
A lot of things got to go right yet.
The old man said you reap what you sow.
This could be some pretty phenomenal numbers.
Out here in these fields of gold.
Why it's called yellow gold.
I work harder, work harder. I get the job done, yeah, I'm a farmer. I don't back down no matter what comes my way.
Crazy year, right?
I'm an early riser, an all-nighter. Call me plowboy, yeah, I'm a fighter. Ain't gonna stop till they put me in my grave.
It's gonna be a fun year.
I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior.
This episode of Corn Warriors is presented by Pivot Bio.
Hey there, we're out checking some of my hailed on corn. The Corn Warriors guys rolled in this morning. I got to show a little bit of the damage. So this corn was planted later on after a rye crop. We took it off, and I think we planted it, I think it was June 2nd. And it was looking really good. So it came up really fast, it looked awesome, and then the hailstorm came. Now if hail had to hit one of my fields, I suppose I'd probably pick this one because the corn was the smallest in it. But it was pretty devastating. This is some of the worst hail that I've seen. If you look at what we got going on here, so this was a plant, right? He's done, he dead, he's done. This was a plant, see right there, he dead. This guy here, that was him, see, he dead. This one's dead. So you got 1, 2, 3, you might as well say 3, 4, 5 in a row that are nothing. This guy here, he probably gonna live. See, he's got that center all rolled up. I don't know how that guy's gonna turn out. This guy might make it. He'll probably make it. Then on the other side, there's a few live ones. So I don't know. I suppose in here it's at least 50% stand reduction, and it's probably a little more than that. We do have hail insurance. Lots of times they don't pay much on this small corn, but I ought to get something in here. I don't think it'll pay enough to make up the difference for the loss. It's pretty late in the game to come out here and try to plant, replant it, I guess. So probably just gotta leave it, see what happens and see what we get, but kind of discouraging. Are we ready? All right, we're out here, if I can get through the leaves. This right here isn't what you would call competition, but it's the same field, I guess, that's competition, so it's real similar. One of the first things we're looking at, is just our stalk girth. I planted a little bit lower populations this year, which is actually helping with stalk girth. As we raise populations, we found out that plant competition was taking away as much yield as we thought we would add, so we're trying to go a little bit lower, trying to get more out of each plant. What we're looking for out here, to make sure we're green all the way to the bottom, how we're rooting. There's no plant, no deficiencies showing up in the leaves, which there aren't in this. We're gonna dig one up here, or a couple up, and look at the root systems and kind of see what what that looks like. She's just starting to put out brace roots here. This particular root I don't like quite as much as this one. I like to see them down in a little bit more, but it might just be the plant itself. So let's do a little bit of digging, see what we got. You gotta get far enough back or you cut a lot of them off. It'll take me a minute. I hate when I can feel them breaking roots there, and I don't want to break, but you always break some off. You can start to see the white fibrous roots and the ones that were already, we won't even get up with a root ball. Like, see these here? This guy and this guy. Those are all coming from that corn plant, and I'm not gonna get them out. I'd have to hose the whole thing down to actually get them all out, but we'll keep working it here. All right. There's one of our friends. See, it's a baby friend, but that's one of our friends. We'll put him over here, let him crawl down that crack. We pay a lot of attention actually to worms and see those worm holes there? That's, you know, this is a no-till field. Along with cover crops and those little worms, that's our pathways for our roots to go down. I mean, that's kind of our tillage. See this here? I mean, that's what you want to see. A lot of these radicals shooting off. That guy out there, he's looking for some gutties, and he's gonna pull some up, you know. And look at all these fine little white ones right here. We'll keep exposing them as we kind of shake her off. Heck of it is, you lose some of them while you're doing it, but as you can see, I'm losing a lot of root, you know, as I'm shaking it off, but without going in and hosing the whole girl down. It's like you're starting to see all the roots we have. Here's a point I kind of want to make is you don't want your roots just growing straight out, right? Or laterally, I guess you would say. But like I say, this corn's at V9. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see there's no burning from any fertility. I mean, let's take this out and look at that stalk. I mean, that's one hell of a stalk right there for V9.
On our farm, we're excited about using Pivot Bio from a net margin standpoint. If we can spend $1 and make $2, that's a win for us. And in the case of Pivot Bio last year, it was much better than a 5-to-1 return. We've had an opportunity to test a lot of different products from many different companies. This product is by far the largest net return on investment that we've seen. We will use Pivot Bio Proven on every acre that we have moving forward.
So with the high-speed planters, these are built off speed. It might sound crazy, but we're perfect around 9 to 10 miles per hour. We can be at 99.8% accuracy on singulation all day long. Today's June 2nd, just read a couple nights ago. This is our first 3-day stretch of no precipitation since February 26th. Gives you a little idea of what kind of weather conditions we've been dealing with down here in southern part of Ohio. That screen up there is pretty much for entertainment purposes. Not a necessity, but more for pleasure. It's what keeps us going long hours of the day. We get to watch the local news, Netflix, Dish Network, Amazon, Hulu. We can even watch Kevin and Brooks and all these other guys here on Corn Warrior reruns so we can learn and sharpen our pencil as we plant. This variety here, we won with it 2 years ago. Last year, we got second place with it. It's 108-day corn, pretty early for us. We range anywhere between 113 to 120 day. This year we won 105-day. That's the earliest we've ever gone. We're almost 5,500 acres of corn this year. We don't have enough stores to hold it all, so we're gonna have to take some into Cargill early. Everything goes right, we should be able to wrap up corn today. We might have to let one field dry overnight. Right now it's 86 degrees outside, so about 35 mile per hour wind, so it's not gonna take long for it to dry out. This farm here got an 1.5 inches of rain in about 20 minutes. I'm trying to remember my days. I think that came Friday or Saturday. They've all kind of ran together. We was able to get started planting again on Wednesday, and we've been hopping back and forth ever since. I'm starting, so we're just going normal script, so I need to go back just 4895 PB on the next one. So you're still going to come beside me, but you're just going to go to your normal one that you ran the rest of the farm on. Well, I'm out of seed. So, do you want me to just stay in the 60 with you? Oh my gosh. Now look, I told you my brain's not working. Your John Deere. I had a hell of a time setting mine. You want me to set yours?
Yeah, I can set it.
They kept bringing the map, our old map, but only one of us.
Why is it just the outside light?
No, it's everything. It's filming everything. All right, so I'm gonna switch mine to Bob's house. I don't see any other way to do it. We shouldn't be out of boundaries because we're gonna be still in the script. It's kind of like how you did Ferguson's yesterday in the 90. So this is replant. We're having a hell of a time. Normally we start a new work, it won't bring up our map. But it keeps bringing up our old map. So we're trying to bypass it. Trying to fool the computer to make it think it's in a different boundary, but yet still have our script correct. I think it's gonna work. Now, Doug Weichel at Sunrise, he might hate me for this, as we do all this stupid stuff to him and then say, hey Doug, fix this. So we can get nice pretty maps and have our harvest maps the same. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do though to make it work.
Just checking to make sure you shut the gate in the back 40 there in case somebody at the barn lets gouge out. We don't want them getting out tonight.
No, I checked it, and then once I got over there, I remembered that we don't have cattle, so I think we're all good.
Ah, good deal then, man. That's one check.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, have a good one.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. Also how we keep ourselves entertained.
So we're gonna split this stock now. Let's see what we find. Okay, so if you need sorting sticks, cattle sorting sticks, you know, at this stage, will work good. Try to do the whole thing at once, you usually screw up. I want to get all the way down into here, so we're gonna sacrifice some of this now. Okay, so one of the things we look for, very down here at the tip, a corn plant, we kind of talk about this as like being the filter as it brings nutrients in. And they say you want that clean all the way to that tip. Now, I've never been able to get it all the way to the tip. I mean, we're pretty good down through here, and you got some lines because of these other ruts, and they say it puts some of these on because some of this is getting plugged up. I don't know if I believe that or not. I think it gets a little bit brown in there just because you're sucking basically dirty water up in, and that's the filtering mechanism. Well, I just made that all dirty, and kind of it all looks dirty now, so it don't really count. But anyway, that's what we check, is all the way down in here to see how clear that is. And that one's pretty good. Sometimes we think with over fertilizing or with burning stuff, you know, is when you can plug this, and this is the pathway on up into the plant. So we try to keep that as clean as possible. The rest of the plant, you can see it's all, obviously it's all healthy. Good and white is what you want to see. Through the center of the plant, it all looks healthy, and it usually always does at this stage, but you see that right there, guys? That's your tassel. I mean, we're a long ways from tasseling yet. You know, it's got a lot of growing to do yet, but it's already formed. You should be able to find a little ear down in here, but you peel these back. I'm gonna get my glasses on. Okay. Well, that's really little, but I think that's the starting of the formation of an ear. But something that's interesting is on every node has the ability to put an ear. So here, 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 here. That's nature. That's where it has the ability to do it. And if you dig down, like I say, I don't know if this plant's quite far enough. That's where an ear would be. That's the next node. This one had one right there. Also, that's the one we dug out. Here's the one on this side. See there? I mean, that's separate, as you can see. That's a separate piece of the plant there, and that's the start of a formation of an ear down in there. It's just not quite far enough along to see the ears. My eyes aren't the best, but that's the starting of an ear right there. And that's why they talk about at this stage, the plant is elongating its ear, or it's setting its length. It's between, you know, its girth is in that V6-ish range. Some people say it's before that. I think it's probably in that V5 to V6. I don't really buy the V2, V3 that some people talk about, but, and then your length is kind of in this range, you know, V8 to V10, and we're kind of right in that now. So that plant you want very well fed. You don't want it under any stress. It's making its fruit, you might say, right now. Or it's determining the size of what its fruit will be. Well, as far as this stalk in itself, so that's V9 corn. That was a good, solid stalk. So, you know, I mean, look at the size of that stalk. That stalk should not blow down. That would take a lot to take it over. Yeah, and now this is your good agri-gold corn here. This is actually $64.99. So corn that we've had a lot of good luck with, has won quite a few yield competitions with. It's kind of, we keep trying a lot of their new hybrids. 99 always sticks right near the top with everything else. So it emerges great. It's just got a lot of good qualities. It actually doesn't get too awful tall. It's a medium-sized hybrid, which I like. I think we could drive sunlight canopy a little bit deeper in it than some of the real tall ones. So there's a lot of things I like about this hybrid. So that's all the butchering we're going to do with that.
There's a lot of Ohio guys that literally farm on gravel. Got a couple clients looked at some corn last year, and it was harder than heck to dig up to look for seed, because you had to dig up through the gravel. I don't call my ground gravel ground, because that's not fair to the other Ohioans. They truly have gravel ground. Underneath us is a lot of limestone. There's actually a lot of limestone quarries around us, surrounding us. A lot of clay, silt loam. We have some good dirt, not a whole lot of it. None in the area we're in today. In this area that we're in of Ohio, we are blessed to have some really good soils. We don't have your Midwest soils. I've been up where Jake lives. He's in a pocket too there. Some pretty good dirt. Just like any state, there's bad dirt and there's good dirt. We've got both of them. We just try to make the best of it for corn and beans. It was a lot easier for me to hit 300 bushel corn than it was to hit 100 bushel beans. You know, Ohio as a state, we're not known as great soybean growers. I mean, yield-wise, I'm proud of our state, so I'm going to say we do the best we can no matter what, but it's just hard for us to throw out a lot of big numbers. We got to do a lot of different things on the bean side to try to trick it and make it happen. So I just lost the whole left side of my planter. The rows started shutting off there. Not real sure what happened. Technology is great when it works, but when it doesn't, it can give you a lot of headaches. We always start with step one, and that is unplug it and plug it back in. And a lot of times that seems to work for us. So let's see if that fixed it. It can go wrong, it will go wrong. Old Junior over there, his depth perception sometimes isn't the best. Hence why he's got a tree limb hanging off the planter right now. I can make fun of him, but I've hit plenty of stuff too, so. I sometimes have a bad habit staying too far away because I don't have very good depth perception either. But when you're going 10 miles per hour on the outside of the field, things come at you fast. Especially now with the sunlight as it is. This field here is called Bull 238. It's been a pretty good field for us. A lot of white clay in this field here. That's why it's getting planted again for a second time here. This was already done once. Hey, Cody, grab that Maristim rev line and put that in all on this load. I'm gonna figure out how much you need here. Here we're playing at 10 miles per hour. I know a lot of people might think that's getting a little rowdy after it, but especially people from down south. But you know what? This is how we roll here in Ohio at 10 miles per hour. Still raising over 350 bushel corn and having singulation of 99%. You can't beat that. So that's how we're gonna roll this year. Our goal for the 2020 season, you know, first off, we wanted to get everything planted. We're almost there. So step one is almost complete. We got a few thousand acres that got off to a good start. We're gonna rely on them heavily for try to get a good high yield off of this year. We're just too soon into the process now though to really be able to tell which ones we're gonna attack and which ones we're not. We did do some intercropping this year. It's off to a real good start. As of now, it's not a practical play. I'm kind of putting the fuel to it and seeing what we can get out of it. A lot of different strips out there, try to learn going forward from it. I would be lying if I didn't tell you that you know, is on overkill right now. Doing that to see what we can play with and what kind of number we can get out there. Intercropping, I'd like, you know, to be more in that 400 range. Still pretty new to the whole contest corn thing here. We've been doing it for 3 years now. We've been very fortunate, 3 years. We've been state winners every year so far. Last year we broke the state record. We hope to do it again this year. We have a lot of acres to cover. We really don't take the time to do set aside plots and different things like that. Every field we go to is pretty much a different plot within itself. It's kind of like an open book test plot for people to read, but it also gives a way, you know, for other people to be able to see what's working around you. The main thing is we're gonna have Mother Nature bless us. We're gonna need a lot of help from her this year and be able to pull this off. We can do everything right, and one bad mood swing from Mother Nature and it'll wipe us out completely. Hopefully the good Lord will look after our crops and we'll have something to play with. I feel like on Corn Warriors here, there's a lot of Indiana boys and with Illinois and now Michigan and Tennessee. Us Buckeyes, we're not used to losing. We're gonna bring it to you.